Hey guys, Rocky here again. Working on the Strat body, stratocaster. I've actually got it marked out on the piece of wood and getting ready to cut it out with the router, or partially cut it out with the router. The bit that I have in the router is kind of like a drill bit, but it's really a little different, a little more elongated in terms of the spiral, and it's supposed to pull the wood up and out of the material in this case. Of course, if I was cutting from the bottom, it'd be pulling the wood out, pulling it down. But I'm going through the top, so it's going to pull the wood out and up to the top. I've never used this bit yet, so I don't know how well it's going to work, but the thing is to use the bit that's going to take the least amount of wood, so I don't want the cut to be too wide, and I don't want the router to be working too hard. So this is probably the best bit that I can use for this. I'm going to give it a go. It's going to cut, you know, the depth of from the bed here. It's going to cut about that deep. That gives me a nice channel that I can follow with the bandsaw to cut the rest of the way through, make things a lot easier on the bandsaw, and a lot easier on me as well, I hope. But anyway, here's the outline, rough outline of the Stratocaster. As you can see, I put some tick marks. These tick marks represent, it might be a little counterintuitive if you think of it, but these tick marks are telling me to cut on the outside of the line here. And the tick marks tell me to cut on the outside of the line here. Everything else lets me know that I'm going to cut on the inside of the line, or right on the line actually. Right on the line, these tick marks here. This piece has got to go, so instead of cutting around here, I'm going to cut on the inside, right on the line itself, all along the line. Here I'm going to cut on the inside of the line. The darker side in here, this dark black side out here is going to be cut out. Because the thing is, I traced this with an actual Telecaster that I had, and I used a black Sharpie, obviously. And doing that, you don't get the exact shape the first time around. You have to kind of tweak it a little bit. So I've got it now. Any place where it's heavy dark like this, these tick marks are here. It means cut on the inside. So that's just how I let myself know. Any place else, you just follow the line. If the line looks good here, you're going to mess. So I'm telling myself to cut on the inside, and I've got the right shape. Here I'm telling myself to cut on the inside. All this dark stuff's got to go. Same here, cut on the inside, the dark stuff's got to go. Here I'm cutting on the outside, the dark stuff's going to stay. I'll leave a little extra there in case I want to reshape it. I didn't get that marked exactly 100% correct. Here I marked it initially and it didn't look like it was right, so I figured I'd remark it, a little more curvature to it, and I put the tick marks on the inside. So I cut on the inside here and get rid of this dark section out here, cut this out. Pretty much the same here, cut on the inside here. It's a little tricky because it was a little hard to trace here, so I'm going to go, just use my judgment and go pretty much all the way out to the very outer edge. So I have some extra wood there to reshape it if I have to. I want to make sure it comes up shaped reasonably well. So now you ask yourself, if I put the router on here and I try to cut this out, what's going to keep this from moving all over the place? Well, what they use, what I've been seeing, is you get a flat surface like this, a relatively flat surface like this. You take some of this, two-sided tape, duct tape, and you put it on your material on the side that you want to stick down. This is the side that I'm not going to cut with the router. So I'm going to peel this off. Try to peel this off. It's a little tricky, but once you get it started, it's easy. Okay, peel it off there. A little tricky, like I said. Once you get your nail in there and get it started, it's not too bad. Okay, now that stuff actually sticks really good. Considering how much I use it, it couldn't really be considered overly expensive. There's probably other ways. I could probably use clamps, but then they kind of get in the way. This is an easier way to do it, not have anything get in the way while you're cutting, because now you've got your complete top surface is unobstructed. So there you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip that over, push it down. Now you can see it's got a good grip. I'm not going anywhere, so I could cut that with my router without having any problems. Excuse me. Now this becomes a matter of how good can you cut freehand, because that's what I've got to do. I've got to cut this freehand, and that's what I'm going to do. So I've got to watch myself closely. I may have to make some stops along the way and, you know, clean some dust off and readjust things just a little bit so that I'm able to see what I'm doing. I'm going to try putting on my safety goggles because I got contacts in right now, and if you wear contacts and no glasses, you have a tendency to get some dust. Can get into the eyes and behind the contact, which I don't want. Behind the contacts. I've got a relatively newish, clean pair of glasses, which I can see pretty good with, and they also, wait a minute, actually I could probably see better once I peel the plastic off. I didn't realize it, they still got the plastic on them. I may have used them like that, not knowing it. Now that I've taken the plastic off, I don't think I did because they wouldn't have fit my nose. That's how I discovered it now, because the plastic was down over the nose. So I don't think I used these yet. These are brand new. So this will help me from keep me from getting dust behind my contacts. So now I've just got to set you guys up on a tripod so you can actually watch what's going on. Find my tripods in here. There we go. Get you guys set up. Hang on one sec, guys. Slide you right in there. I know there's noise from this. Okay. And also keep in mind there's going to be a lot of noise from the router as well. So you might want to, when you see me start to route, you might want to turn your sound down, because I'm not quite sure how to turn the sound down for you. Although I'm pretty sure there's an option there, but you may want to take control of that yourselves. So we get this tripod set up here roughly like this. You guys hopefully can see what's happening, and we'll go ahead. Always make sure you're going as safely as you possibly can. You don't want to run into any problems where you hurt yourself. Now I think that might be too deep. I'm going to give it a try like that, with that much cut, and see how well it cuts. If it's too much cut, I will shorten that bit and do one pass and then bring it back out and do a second pass. I'm going to try it at full length first and see how that goes. So now the bit turns, might not be able to tell here. It slows down, you'll see that it's going clockwise. So I'm going to try to cut counterclockwise so that my router doesn't kick out on me. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but I'm going to try it. So I've discovered that that bit doesn't seem to cut very well. Maybe I'm digging too deep, I'm not sure. It seems to me like it's going to be a difficult process. So I think I'm going to have to switch out to a different bit, or drop this one a little, see if that makes a difference. Drop it and go first that way, and then try it the other way afterwards with it with the second and third pass. So I'm going to drop the bit. Shorten it, essentially is what I'm saying. And of course, you have to be very careful in a case like that where you're going to change a bit. You want safety first, which means you take your, you pull your plug out so you've got no power. Then you can go ahead and see if you can get that bit dropped a little. Actually, I don't have to take the bit out. Come to think of it, I actually have an option to there is an option to make an adjustment right here. You open this up, turn this guy, and drop that bit down, way down. Bring it basically, yeah, if you were to flip it the other way, the bit's going up actually. If you were to flip the router in the right way, right now it's upside down. So I'm going up with it, basically putting less of the bit into the wood. Come to think of it, I thought this would cut pretty good, but I did have it pretty intrusive there. I had a lot of that bit sticking out. Maybe just a little bit here, it might work. I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to try that right there. That's not much bit. I'll give that a go. Let's see what happens when we do that. It's going to get noisy again, guys. Let's try it out. See where we're at. Oops, got to plug that back in. Make sure that if you flip it on and you realize it's not plugged in, you flip it off again. Otherwise, when you hit the switch and you're not near the router, it's got quite a bit of torque. It'll take off on you, probably break a bed or who knows what. So currently it's off. Just plugged it in. Give her another shot here. Flip it back over. Hit the on switch. That looks like it might work. I'm not sure how well it's going to cut, but I'm going to give it a shot. It's going to get loud. Turn your sound down. Even for me, this is quite intrusive to sound, guys, so I got to find something to put on for hearing protection. I'm not sure where my my hearing protection is, so I'm going to run into the house really quick and grab something that I've got in there and bring it out. I'm going to leave you guys rolling. I shouldn't be too long. Please be patient. I'll be as quick as possible. Okay, guys. Basically, I've just got my headphones. They have a removable cable, and these are they fit well over the years. It should help quite a bit. I've used it before for ear protection. It works pretty good. I'm going to swap that bit out. I don't like that bit. I've used it might be the wood. Now, before I used when I did cutting, I was using mahogany. So this popular might be a little different. I'm going to switch out and use the same bit that I used when I was cutting the mahogany to see if that's any better. I'm going to grab that. And I shall be back very shortly. Right over here. Also got to unplug the router again. Safe. Router's unplugged. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to try this bit here. This one's used. It's a little maybe not insurance. It wasn't new, but I think it's actually better than. I think this one's actually going to be better than the one I've got. This one is just a straight cut. The other one, I don't like it. I may find this is not much better because, like I said, it might be the wood, it might be the poplar itself, not necessarily the bit. I won't know until I've tried it. So, just so that you know what I'm doing here, I'm working on trying to get this bit out. Essentially, I have a little tab here I can press, and it's set such a way that it works as a wrench to counteract when I try to turn this out. So now, got to get a grip on it. Probably better to do this. Lean one edge up against it. Oh yeah, much better. Okay. So I hope this bit is a lot better, but I don't know for sure until I try it. Okay, so the bit is in. I just got to tighten it up. Once again, I'll press down on my keyway here to help hold. Start cranking that bit nut this way to tighten it. Make sure it's snug so the bit doesn't spin and heat up in there. Okay, so the bit is in place. Now I have to change, of course, the height so that the bit is sticking out properly. So that means making my adjustments once again here. If you're not familiar with it, you got to unblock the clamp, and then you have your adjustment mechanism here. You just turn that one way or the other. In this case, I've got to go. In this case, I got to go counterclockwise, I think. Yep, and the sleeve will slide down, exposing more of the bit, as you'll see here very shortly. I'm quite certain you should be able to see that. Now, I don't know how much I can cut. I think the last time I used almost the full length of the bit. I'm going to go about 1/4 of an inch and then retrace it after with a second pass. Okay, guys, got to plug it in again, and then brace yourself, like I said, because it's going to get noisy. I don't know if that's on or off. I hope it's off. Probably I'll grab that hole just to be sure it doesn't spin away on me when I plug it in, if it happens to be on. Try to find the right cable for it here. I've got too many cables kicking around, too many items, too many things to plug in here. Alright, so I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to hold the rubber just in case. No, okay, we're good. It was off. Okay, back around. We're going to get where we're going. Alright, safety glasses back on. We'll see how we are for sound now. So, turn your router on.